Okay, so The Dead Place. This is the brand new film from Michael Pickle, right? He's the writer and director of the joint, okay? It is produced by Robert Bravo, Steve Deering. We got Wesley Johnson, Lania Kale, and there is Jeremy Lee Dixon. Jeremy is also an executive producer on the joint, along with Michael Pickle, right? Anthony Riviers and Lana Wolf. It is co-produced by Nick Fuhrer. And we have associate production from Raymond Chito Lopez, Emily Lassiter, and Pupo Daz. We've got Joaquin Silva on cinematography. There is... Oh, where are we? Music. Robert Bravo was special effects. We have got... Okay, that's... Yeah. And Tony Snegoff on stunts. He's our stunt coordinator. Okay, so the cast, right, playing our lead, right, Isaac Stecker, is Idris Veliu. Isaac has got a younger brother. Okay, so John Jr., who is played by Jake Diaz, right? His dad, John, is played by Aaron Lyons. And his mother, Ruth, is played by Suziey Block. Right, so, actually, it's not his girlfriend, but his close friend, right? They're kind of inseparable. Katharine, Kat, right? She is, Katharine Linderbrook. She is played by Lexi Graves. We then have got... we probably should do the entity, right? Voiced by Bill Oberst Jr. Then there is the new kid, right? Played by David Howard Thornton. There is also, who have we got? Oh, yeah, Ruth's mum, right, Grandma Mandy, is played by Beatrice Beeple. We have got... Who else do we got? James Dawson, played by Nick Fuhrer. James is... I think it's James's girlfriend, right? Carla Gregory, played by Angel Nicole Bradford. Then there is the rest of their crew. Who is... Robert, yes, played by Tion Kelly. Right, we have got Keenan, played by Ian James. Who else is there? Yeah, it's not necessarily listed greatly. Okay, let's just go with some of the other people because, yeah, everything is all over the place a little bit. Okay, so we have got okay, the janitor Dixon, played by Jeremy Lee Dixon. We have got Counselor Cunningham, played by Carl Cunningham. Right, Coach Stanek, played by Thomas Stanek. Right, we have got Wildcat Parker, played by Montavious Parker. Isabella is played by Kimi Valdivia. We've got Nurse Maguire, played by Kerry Maguire. We've got Andrew Rogers, played by Andrew Labs. There is also Miss Breyer, played by Kelsey Livengood. Dr. Brine, played by Elliot. That's probably our main kind of cast, right? So the gist of the film. What is all of this about, you may ask? Well, troubled high school senior Isaac is plagued by visions of the dead. This causes friction in his family and makes him an outcast at school. His only friend, Katharine, is obsessed with the paranormal and tries desperately to help him. But a new kid pushes him to give in to the demon trying to burrow its way inside him. Consumed by the evil feeding off the dead souls that haunt him, Katharine is the only one that stands between Isaac and his darker impulses to satisfy the bloodlust of the demon that dwells within him. Dum 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 dum. So yes, that, people, is the gist of things, right? Now, yeah, there's a little bit about this whole thing, right? It's an independently produced passion project, right, from Michael Pickle. This is his featured directorial debut. You know, he's done some shorts, right? He's got a what do they call it? A variety series, a horror variety series on Roku, right? Pickle's Horror Show. Yeah, maybe you've caught that, right? So he's got that. But yeah, this is his first foray into a feature. You know, he's worked as a journalist, a film critic of horror. So he's been embedded in this for a while, you know? And I think he came with the idea from going to a abandoned asylum, right? Which, that doesn't sound like fun to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, he did it in 2008. And yeah, so ever since, he's had this idea for this film, which, you know, is the first part of a trilogy. So I think with all of that, with the stuff that, you know, we're reading about Michael, he's a horror fan, you know, loves horror. And I think that does play out in this film. You know, I think it does, right? Because we have got a lot of the tropes of those classic horror films here. You know what I mean? It's all here, right? I think, what did it say? On his, but they used like Indiegogo to kind of help fund, as people do, right? And, they kind of listed all the films that have kind of inspired, right? Themically and just all of that, right? And you have stuff like Ginger Snaps, which I thought Ginger Snaps was great, Now, obviously, the sequels, not so much, but the original was, fantastic, right? What else do we have here? Mouth of Madness, Santa Sanage, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Session 9, The Evil Dead, Sixth Sense, The Children, Pontypool, right? 1408, Plague Town, The Conjuring 2, Frontiers, Murder Party, Death Sentence, Sinister, Hereditary, The Dark and the Wicked. These are films all kind of inspired Michael in a way for The Dead Place. And I think what we do have here is, like the origin story, right? Like, I think with all of these classic horror films, right? Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, just all of these things. There is the villain, right? But everyone always wants to know, how was he formed? How did he become this person, this, embodiment of evil? And they often do a prequel, or, they thread that origin throughout. And I think what we see here is Michael giving us that, right? Going, this is how this person becomes, intertwined with this thing. You know what I mean? And just all of these kind of trappings are here. I think another big thing with a lot of horror films, a lot of people get their start here. And so, with this, he's cast some big names, right? Some big names have jumped into the spot, like David Howard Thornton, who is Art the Clown, right, in the Terrifier films. But I've never watched them, just because they're meant to be scary as a motherfucker, and you know what I mean? Yo, there's only so much I can deal with, people, right? But suppose he doesn't talk in those films. So this is his first talking role, and we've got the voice of the entity, right? Bill Oberst Jr., who is, again, a well-renowned name in the horror fraternity. So we have big names, along with, what's her name? Freaking Beeple, the grandmother. I forget now. Beatrice Beeple, yes. So we have these big names, but he's also given opportunities to, first timers, right? Like Idris Veliu, who plays Isaac, and Lexi Graves, who plays Katharine Lindenbrook. You know what I mean? So I think that's, just those kind of things are great, right? Like giving people opportunities, trying to build this thing. And also, like, as I said, this is the first part of a trilogy. So I think there are the trappings of like this horror kind of thing, you know, this thing that people love, right? We've got blood and, you know, just this battle of good and evil, right? This enticement, all of these kind of things are here. And I think there's a lot of people that will definitely resonate and dig it. I did think, like, some of the dialogue is a little shaky, right? There's some performances a little inconsistent, you know? I think trying to really get, because this isn't kind of the beginning. We kind of come in, right? And Isaac has been experiencing this thing for a long ass time, you know? Like, it's caused him to be ostracized at school and just all of these things. So, you know, it's not technically the start of it for him. But I think it's like the motivation, right? That driving force to go in either direction. I do feel there could be a little bit more to kind of underpin this, right? Because this is, whatever you're gonna do, it's, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of shit that comes with it, right? So I it would have been nice to get a little bit more meat on those bones. And I think the last third of the film gets batshit crazy, right? It does get kind of crazy. And there are a few things that are a little unclear, right? Carla, and some other things. So I think if those could have been ironed out a little bit, I think we get a stronger film. But as I said, it kind of, and I think especially when you look at, right, David Thornton's performance, right, it does kind of lean towards that kind of B-movie campiness, right? That kind of crazy, over-the-top vibe, you know? So I think if that's the thing that you love, I mean, that's all here, right? It will definitely play for you. So here's the thing, people. It will be hitting Bloodstream, right? You know, Bloodstream, right? The new home of horror films, right? Along with Shudder, right? But yeah, it's hitting Bloodstream on the 1st of June. Now, if you love to see these things in the cinema, there is a red carpet premiere at the Lumiere cinema in Beverly Hills, right? So there is that on the 10th of June. And, you know, if you like to own it, I think it hits TVODs on the 5th of August. So, yeah, those are the dates for your diary. People, yeah, The Dead Place. If it sounds like it is for you, go support it. Because then, right, you get part 2 and 3, hopefully. right? So, yeah. If it sounds like it's your film, people, go support. All the links will be on the webpage, so you can go follow it, find out all the gist and all of that. But yeah, 1st of June, Bloodstream, 10th of June, the premiere, and then the 5th of August, available everywhere else. All right, so yes, there you go, people, The Dead Place.